January 30th, 2026. The United States Department of Justice releases 3.5 million pages of documents, over 2,000 videos, 180,000 images. According to the DOJ, the largest criminal file dump in American history. The subject?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein, a financier who died in federal custody in 2019.
Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Epstein took his own life while he was behind bars facing charges of sex trafficking.
But these aren't just files about one man's crimes. Buried in millions of pages are recordings of a former Israeli prime minister discussing business deals.
Any comments on the alleged allegation of your connection with Jeffrey Epstein? No.
Emails reportedly showing a UK ambassador sharing government information.
Documents revealed Epstein paid $75,000 into accounts linked to the former UK ambassador to the US between 2003 and 2004.
Flight logs documenting hundreds of trips to a private Caribbean island.
The list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
The Epstein thing. But yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
And one question keeps surfacing in document after document. Was Jeffrey Epstein running an intelligence blackmail operation?
Epstein was convicted for soliciting a child for prostitution.
I'm going to walk you through what's actually in these files. Not speculation, just the documents. And what they reveal about power, intelligence agencies, and a network that reached the highest levels of government. Jeffrey Epstein's official story never made sense. He claimed to be a billionaire financier, but according to financial investigators, nobody could identify his clients. He said he managed money for the ultra-wealthy, but there's no public record of him actually trading. His only confirmed client? Leslie Wexner, the founder of Victoria's Secret, who gave Epstein power of attorney over his entire fortune. In 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting relations from a minor. According to court records, the FBI had identified over 30 victims. They'd prepared a 53-page federal indictment. But Alexander Acosta, the U.S. attorney for Southern Florida, gave Epstein a deal that shocked even seasoned prosecutors. Epstein served 13 months in county jail. He was allowed to leave 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, for work release. The deal also granted immunity to all named and unnamed co-conspirators. When asked years later why he gave Epstein such favorable treatment, Acosta reportedly told Trump transition officials, "I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone." That quote appears in a July 2019 article by Vicky Ward in the Daily Beast. When questioned about the statement, Acosta declined to directly deny saying it. The intelligence angle wasn't just speculation. Documentary evidence exists. Robert Maxwell, British media mogul, died in 1991 under mysterious circumstances. He fell from his yacht, the Lady Ghislaine, near the Canary Islands. His funeral in Jerusalem was attended by Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir and multiple Israeli intelligence officials. According to news reports from the time, Shamir's eulogy stated, "Maxwell has done more for Israel than can today be said." Robert Maxwell's daughter is Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's closest associate and eventual co-conspirator. Now, here's where the documents get interesting. The January 2026 release includes audio recordings from February 2013. Jeffrey Epstein and former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak discussing business. In one recording, Epstein advises Barak to join the board of Palantir, Peter Thiel's surveillance technology company that would later become crucial to Israel's military operations. According to the DOJ files, Barak's name appears 4,078 times in the Epstein documents. The records show he and his wife stayed repeatedly at Epstein's New York apartment, even after Epstein's 2008 conviction. Emails coordinate housekeeping, schedule meetings, discuss payment arrangements. In 2015, according to business filings, Barak partnered with Epstein to fund a security tech startup called Reporty Homeland Security, later renamed Carbine. An FBI memo from a confidential source alleges that Epstein had Israeli intelligence connections and was close to the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak. The memo presents this as the source's assessment, not established fact. The July 2025 DOJ memo states there's no credible evidence Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals. But that same memo doesn't address the intelligence allegations directly. What the documents establish, Epstein maintained relationships with intelligence-adjacent figures. The question isn't whether these connections existed. The files document that they did. The question is whether they were operational. So what's actually in these files? According to the DOJ, the January 30th release came from 5 sources: the Florida and New York cases against Epstein, the New York case against Ghislaine Maxwell, the investigations into Epstein's death, FBI investigations spanning 2 decades, and the Office of Inspector General's investigation. Flight logs document over 700 trips on Epstein's private Boeing 727, nicknamed the Lolita Express. The logs show passengers, but not what happened during flights or at destinations. Financial records reveal unexplained wire transfers. In 2009, according to documents released in the files, Reynaldo Avila da Silva, partner of UK politician Peter Mandelson, received £10,000 from Epstein for an osteopathy course. Later transfers totaled $75,000. Email correspondence reveals the scope of Epstein's network. Emails with former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, and numerous politicians. Most discuss meetings, donations, or business introductions. Being in someone's emails doesn't prove criminal knowledge. The files include a handwritten birthday book from Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003. Peter Mandelson's entry, according to the released pages, calls Epstein "my best pal." Mandelson was dismissed as UK ambassador to the US in September 2025 following these revelations. One email from October 2009 reportedly shows Mandelson receiving advance notice of UK government tax plans while serving as business secretary during the 2008 financial crisis. He allegedly shared this with Epstein. London Metropolitan Police opened a criminal investigation in February 2026, according to official statements. Mandelson resigned from the House of Lords. There are search warrant inventories from Epstein's properties. They document cash in multiple currencies, diamonds in a locked safe, hard drives, and hundreds of photographs. The photographs' contents remain sealed. According to the DOJ's official statement, they withheld 2.5 million pages from the 6 million identified. Stated reasons: child exploitation material, duplicate documents, attorney-client privilege, ongoing investigations, and classified national security information. Intelligence agencies have used sexual blackmail operations for decades. This isn't conspiracy theory. It's documented historical practice. During the Cold War, according to declassified files, the KGB ran honey trap operations using prostitutes to compromise Western diplomats. The CIA did the same in Operation Midnight Climax, dosing targets with LSD and filming their behavior. Israel's Mossad has documented operational methods matching this pattern. Historical examples include the 1986 Mordecai Vanunu case, where Mossad used a female agent to lure a nuclear whistleblower into a trap. If an intelligence agency were running such an operation, certain elements would be expected. An isolated location with limited law enforcement oversight. Multiple properties with surveillance capability. According to victim testimony and court depositions, cameras were described in bedrooms, bathrooms, throughout properties. Palm Beach police detective Joseph Recarey, in a 2009 FBI interview, stated he'd interviewed over 30 girls recruited by Ghislaine Maxwell. The 2008 plea deal contained an unusual clause: immunity for all named and unnamed co-conspirators. If protecting a network were the goal, that clause would accomplish it. But here's what the files don't contain: direct evidence of blackmail. No tapes have surfaced being used to extort anyone. No victims have testified to witnessing active blackmail operations. What the documents show is a pattern: unexplained wealth, intelligence-adjacent connections, a network of powerful visitors, allegations of cameras, and a plea deal that protected a broad group. The July 2025 DOJ memo states no evidence of blackmail exists in the files. But as legal experts note, absence of evidence in a partially released file doesn't constitute evidence of absence. Even accepting the official conclusion that Epstein acted alone, the protection he received demands explanation. According to court rulings, the 2008 plea deal violated the Crime Victims' Rights Act. Prosecutors secretly negotiated with Epstein's lawyers while keeping over 30 victims in the dark. Federal Judge Kenneth Mara ruled in 2019 that victims' rights were violated. But by then, Epstein was dead. In 2019, Epstein was arrested again on federal sex trafficking charges. He was held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. On August 10, 2019, according to official reports, guards found him dead in his cell. The official ruling? Suicide by hanging. But according to the DOJ Inspector General's report, the circumstances were extraordinary. Guards falsified records, claiming they'd checked on Epstein every 30 minutes. According to the OIG investigation, they hadn't. The last documented check was at 10:40 p.m. on August 9th. Epstein was found dead at 6:30 a.m., 8 hours, unobserved. Security cameras outside his cell malfunctioned. According to the OIG report, the Metropolitan Correctional Center's digital video recorder system had failed on July 29th, nearly 2 weeks before his death. Only one camera captured footage, and it didn't show his cell. The autopsy found broken bones in Epstein's neck, including his hyoid bone. Dr. Michael Baden, hired by Epstein's brother, stated the fractures were more consistent with strangulation than hanging. The New York medical examiner disagreed. 2 guards were charged with falsifying records. According to court documents, they reached a deferred prosecution agreement. Charges were dropped. The DOJ Inspector General's 2023 report found numerous and serious failures, but no evidence contradicting the suicide finding. A suicide in America's most secure federal prison, with malfunctioning cameras and falsified guard logs, for the highest profile inmate in the country. The 3 million pages don't contain everything. Grand jury testimony remains sealed. According to court filings, the DOJ is seeking approval to release it, but as of February 2026, it hasn't been granted. The full contents of Epstein's seized hard drives haven't been made public. The FBI has them. According to official statements, what's on them is classified as evidence in potential ongoing investigations. The identities of the unnamed co-conspirators in the 2008 plea deal have never been revealed. The agreement listed 4 names, but protected any potential co-conspirators without naming them. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted in 2021 on 5 counts related to sex trafficking. She's serving 20 years. According to news reports, she has refused to name anyone else. International investigations are ongoing. According to official statements, the UK is criminally investigating Peter Mandelson for allegedly leaking state secrets. France opened a financial fraud investigation into former culture minister Jack Lang. Poland, Latvia, and Lithuania are reviewing the files for domestic implications. Prince Andrew, now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, after being stripped of his royal titles in October 2025, has been urged by UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer to testify before the US Congress. According to parliamentary records, he has not complied. The files reveal a network, but they don't reveal who controlled it. According to the DOJ, 3.5 million pages, 2,000 videos, 180,000 images. The largest criminal document release in American history. And yet, the central questions remain unanswered. The documents establish Epstein had connections to intelligence-adjacent figures. The records show he maintained those connections after his conviction. Flight logs document powerful people visiting his properties. Court testimony describes cameras. What the files don't establish is whether this was an organized intelligence operation or simply a criminal network that intelligence figures chose not to disrupt. The files don't contain a smoking gun. They contain smoke. Lots of it. According to victim advocates, over 200 of Epstein's victims are still seeking answers. Governments across Europe have launched investigations. The US Congress is demanding unredacted access. The truth is somewhere in those 6 million pages, half of which are still sealed. This is Cipher Dossiers. Thank you for watching.